Greetings and welcome to part 6 of the trombone series. We're going to be looking at essential elements for band for trombone, pages 18 through 21, specifically numbers 90 through 106. This is going to encompass the purple belt songs of band karate. The purple belt songs are 90, 102, and 106, and we've got a lot of new things to work at. So let's take a look first at number 90 in your book. Right above it, it says theme and variations. It says a musical form featuring a theme or primary melody, followed by variations or altered versions of the theme. Basically what that means is you have a song, and then you still have the song, but they mess around with it a little bit. So number 90, the variations on a familiar theme, you're going to hear the theme, which is something you'll know, and then the variations are going to be that, but a little bit different. 91 is called the Banana Boat Song, and right above it, you notice an orange box says DC al fine. So what that means is DC in Italian is shorthand for da capo, or the head, or back to the beginning. Al fine means to the end. Fine, finish. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go beginning to the end, and then when we see the DC al fine, we go back to the beginning, because the DC to the top, and then we end at the fine, which looks like fine. Okay, you notice there's a double bar right there too to help you find that. So here's Banana Boat Song number 91. Beginning. Page 19, it starts off at the top, it says a natural. So a natural sign cancels a flat or a sharp, and like anytime we have an accidental, a sharp, flat, or natural that's not in the key signature, it remains in effect for the full measure. Looking at 92, Razor's Edge, it has an E natural. It's in second position, like your A natural, right? Is your E natural. All your E's in this one are going to be E natural. Now your key signature, we talked about in the last video, the key signature on this one has B flat and E flat. But they want E natural, so because the key signature has E flat, that means I have to put a natural sign on all of the E's in this one. Unless it's in a specific measure, if there's more than one, you could just put it on the first one because it carries through. So here's 92. Is called the music box. This one is in 3/4, 2 flats, but again, all your E's in this one are going to be E natural. Notice that in the first full measure, you have an E natural, C, and then another E. There's no natural sign on it, but because the first E in that measure was a natural second position, that second one is also going to be an E natural second position. Okay? So let's try the music box, 93. I'm going to be making sure, if you're one of my students and you're testing for this particular song, I'm going to be making sure your E's are second position and not third on that one. Let's look at 95. Right above 95 in that orange box, it talks about a slur. It says a curved line which connects notes of different pitch. Tongue the first note normally, and then play the slurred notes using da, a legato tonguing syllable. And then it talks about what legato is, an Italian word for smooth and connected. You remember back in 59, back when we were still in the green belt, you noticed that we had a tie over notes that were the same. So it's very similar with a slur. We want them as connected as possible, but because you have this thing called a slide, if you just connect them and you don't tongue them, then that means you're going to get a glissando. It's going to sound kind of yucky. So for a trombone, you still tongue all your slurred notes, but the idea is that you tongue just enough a da, as opposed to t, 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 da, 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 t, 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 because the t is a little bit harsher. So the d is more smooth, so just enough to hide the slide motion. You want to move that slide pretty quickly because we don't want to have any in there. So let's look at 95, smooth operator. You're slurring 4 notes at once. Same principle, very smooth and connected. 97 is called trombone rag. This is really fun. This has something called a glissando. So we're not going to read the whole ragtime box, but if you look to the very right of that box, it says a gliss, and then it has a little squiggly line going from one note down to the other. That means you get to do the thing that only trombones can do. That is the reason you played trombone, isn't it? We all want to do that. So that's called a glissando. So whenever you see that, it means you get to do that. Make the most of it. Let's look at 97. Towards the very end, in the first and second endings. Remember the first and second endings from the last video? That means you get to glissando and then back up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just play it. Hear how it's going to sound. Back to the beginning because we just played the first ending. So once we got to the second ending, we had a glissando, and then we had that eyeball above that last note, which again is the fermata, means hold that note longer. Let's turn the page. Page 20, number 99, the first song is Take the Lead, and this is a high A natural. There's no flat sign on it, so remember A flat, third position, A natural, second position. Is your A natural, your high A natural. So here's 99. Notice the key signature is just B flat and E flat, which means all your A's in this one would be second position, unless I tell you otherwise. Let's look at number 102 now. This is the next Purple Belt song. Satin Latin. It's not Satan Latin, it's satin Latin, like a smooth fabric, satin. Notice that in the key signature, there's only a B flat. So what does that mean? It means everything else is natural. Your E's are now second position natural. Your A's are second position natural. Okay? So for 102, that means you're not going to have any third position. It's all second position. If you play third position, shame on you. We'll have to fix it. Also, look in that orange box. It says multiple measure rest. It says the number above the staff tells you how many full measures to rest. Count each measure of rest in sequence. So notice underneath that 2 with the bar underneath it, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Because sometimes you're going to have to rest more than just a couple beats or one full measure. Sometimes you have to rest a lot. So in 102, at the end of the first line, you see a 2 with the bar, the multiple measure rest, or we call it multi-measure rest usually. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then continue playing. That could be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Notice that we changed the first number to the measure that we're counting, okay? That's how we keep track of it. Otherwise, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that 3, 4, or 5? Okay. So that's very helpful in counting. Sometimes you're going to have even 60 or something if you're playing, you know, some crazy piece later on in high school or college. But for now, 2. So satin Latin, all second positions. Also, we have some long notes in here. We have a long E natural that we're going to tie those 2 whole notes together for 8 beats. I'm going to start that again. Empty out my water. One, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a look at number 105. This one's called Naturally. I think I said that 102 was a Purple Belt song. If I didn't, it is. 105 is not, but 105 is called Naturally. Here, let's go through the notes. In the key signature, we have B flat, but nothing else. So your E's are second position. But in this song, they want some of those E's flat. So because of that, they have to put the flat sign on the note. So let's take a look at the notes. It's going to be F, E natural, F, C, C, D, E flat, D, C, E flat, D, C, D, E flat, E natural, F. So let's play it. 106 is the last song in this section. It's also your last Purple Belt song. Look at the key signature, B flat, E flat, no A flat. So all your A's are second position. But if you look at the very beginning of the song, the first 2 measures, you notice that you have 2 natural signs on E's. So the first 2 E's in the song are going to be second position natural, but don't let that fool you. The rest of them in the song are going to be third position E flat. In fact, in the 1, 2, 3, 4th measure of the song, you notice that they have a flat sign on the E in parentheses. That's called a courtesy. So what they're telling you is that you've had E naturals in the beginning of the song, even though the key signature has E flat. So we're just kind of tell you with that reminder that the rest of them are going to be E flat, again, unless I tell you otherwise. So here's 106, Marche Militaire. Looking for on this particular song is those right E's, the E natural in the beginning and then E flat for the rest of the song. I'm also going to be looking for that we have the 8th note shorter than the quarter notes. So, because what a lot of kids like to do is they play it like this. Notice that every note is saying bum 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 bum. So we want to make sure that we have the da 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 da, or long short short long short short long. So that is the Purple Belt. Congratulations on getting this far. The next segment is going to focus on the Blue Belt. Great job.